Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Twisted Koi. How are we doing out there, cupcakes? For the last live of 2024, I thought I would just jump on for a quick one and see how everyone is, how everyone's doing, how everyone's Christmas was. Mine was lovely and quiet, but I tell you what, and I've got some work done here. I've got the pond up and running fully. Pond is looking wicked. I am getting a little bit of crap on the floor in a couple of areas, but that is because the floor is not completely fucking level. But it is what it is, and even though we went round, nice one, Wally. Bubbles, how are we doing, everyone? But yeah, even though we went round with not just a hand whacker, but a petrol one as well. Once that water started going in, it has dropped in certain places, even though there is polystyrene under there spanning it. But good shout, Matt, yeah, because the square that we put in around the bottom drain, which is the most important bit, hasn't moved. In fact, you can, if you look carefully, you can actually see that square because that box weld liner is absolutely smooth, flat, and that's all down to Matt. And what a bloke! I mean, what a bloke! And yeah, if you need a box weld liner or some cracking Japanese koi, or if you want to upgrade your system to a filtro drum, get on the Matt because he's an absolute legend. How we doing, Stu? Everyone else, would you like to have a look at the pond? I mean, I sitting here, I can look through the plastic we've got up temporarily, and I can still see the fish through it, and it's just awesome sitting here, and I can't wait for the old tiling and everything else to be done. Mar's home now, so I've got to pop down and see Mar later, check on her pond as well. But I'm also picking up the grass for the back garden, so it really is starting to fly along now. So yeah, we've got to decide on what stones we're putting down it on here on the patio, and then we can get the top done of the pond as well. But before I get the top done, I've got to get the metal post holders in on the four corners. Cheers, Jason, and everyone else that's joined in. I tell you what, let me spin this camera around for a second. Here we go. Back facing camera. Shut that. There we go. And the temperature in there is about 8 degrees at the moment. You did indeed, Stu Bob. So yeah, the next plan of attack is this chunk here's got to come down across there. All that's got to come out. Get rid of that, and then we get the post debris in the corners. We'll get the uprights and that in. Once I've got that done, we then get a brick step put in across there, and then we'll raise this area up. This will get grassed, and then the bottom bit will get grassed down to the gate, artificial grass that is. And then I've got to spend some time, once this has been patioed, I've got to spend some time indoors doing some redecorating and stuff in there. But at the same time, this lot is coming down. I'm keeping the IBC tank, but I'm going to enclose the whole lot in one, and I want to try and create a whole sort of like unit that ends up completely looking like that. So right the way across. So like there'll be a door here, and then you can access the filters, because this one will be a 10 piston, a new shower, and this is, like, as we know, easy pod 10 piston shower. So yeah, it'll all be enclosed in and looking sweet. But like I say, I've got to decide what we're going to put down patio slab wise before we can go any further. Now let me turn this camera back round. Here we go. So yeah, that is some of what is going to be going on here. I did put a link in the comments if anyone wants to jump on and join me. You can have a look through these comments, Jason. It shows you can still get a nice pond on a budget, mate. Yes, yes. And I don't get me wrong, it's not been cheap, but it's not been expensive. I have gone literally the cheapest route possible. The only thing I didn't do cheaply, and that was the liner. And that was purely because, from experience, especially with the last pond, those woven liners, albeit very good for the price, they have not got the longevity that they claim on the packaging, and that's for sure, because that woven liner was supposed to have had a 15-20 year lifespan, and 8 years, and it's deteriorating. So yeah, it was the only thing I didn't scrimp on, and that was the liner. But at the same time, believe it or not, that rubber box weld liner worked out cheaper than a flat liner in rubber by 200 quid. So that in itself was absolute saving, and oh, I'm just over the moon. And by the time it's finished, and if it continues on the way I'm envisioning it, then it should look absolutely awesome. Absolutely, Jason. Facebook Marketplace, eBay, anything like that. Friends, skips. I mean, don't get me wrong. You name it, I've used it. I mean, Dino sent me some bits that he's got from site, and one of the valves is actually on the main pond. That I've got pipe work from the original pond being used. There's original fittings and stuff, and like I say, the insulation that was the pond walls is in my ceiling. That's my new insulation on the ceiling. So I've just got to get a bit of board now, board the ceiling off, and then that is long block pretty much sorted, apart from getting some kind of board or something over the top of the sump. And I'm changing the door round as well, so the door opens outwards instead of inwards, which will, by all rights, intents and purposes, give me a little bit more space. I mean, next time I go through the growing on tank, it's definitely going to have to be done outside, because trying to trying to not only use the cage net in the pond, but get them into the bowl that is up above me. Absolute fucking nightmare. And those that have been here recently will attest that, yeah, there's not a lot of room in Longlock anymore. It is definitely the Koi TARDIS. Going to have to catch up watching later, Vince. I may need to give you a call in a day or so. Yeah, no worries, Carl. You know that anytime, buddy. So yeah, anyone know? Right, hang on, a good question now. What do you mean you wrote off Dino? Right. Hi, Vince. Is there a reason why you boxed in the media tank? Does it make a difference for the biological bacteria? I would worry if something go wrong. Well, one, I boxed it in because I needed somewhere that I could hang the Tempests, but the whole idea was that it became a self-contained unit. In that, that's why the spray bar holes were the size they were, because I wanted to be able to shut it away and forget about it, which was why I had the bio chamber running before I even started the pond up, because I wanted to make sure that I had the right amount of media in there so that I could shut it off. And in that bioreactor, I mean, don't get me wrong, that yes, you will get better biofiltration if it's in the dark, but it's not the be all and end all. Mine was more of a case of I wanted to be able to set it up, fire it up, and then leave it alone, because the the amount of shit, or the type of shit that will be going through the Tempest from the skimmer, that the Tempests will catch that all day long. And then I've got the drum on the bottom drain line, so when it comes to actual shit, there shouldn't be any at all in either the shower or the bio chamber. So with that in mind, why do I need to see it? Can you see what I mean? When you look at the old system where I had the two easy pods and then I had the bio chamber, that bio chamber was a sealed unit, even though it was an active chamber, and I could see into it because it was clear tops and I painted some so I could still see it. It once you know it's running the way it should be, why do you need to see it? That's my whole point in that, and that was why I set it up that way, just to make life easier for me. One, for housing stuff, and two, space. And that was the whole point of the system being done the way it was, so that I didn't have to worry about it. Now all I've got to worry about is two easy pods and a Tempest once I get it changed over on the RDC tank. Everything's been done to make my life a lot easier. Uh, in all honesty, if I could afford another couple of Filtro drums, the two systems that have easy pods on, I would put them on there, because they, for what they are and the price point they are, they're easy piece of piss to set up, absolutely awesome to use. And yeah, it has changed the way my koi keeping hobby is going to be here, but at the same time, I wouldn't want, as much as I want to, I wouldn't want to have a drum on all of my other systems, because then that will take my enjoyment from the hobby out of it. Because, as you know, I love tinkering around with stuff. So I've got to have at least a couple of systems that I can still tinker around with and play with, because that is a big part of my hobby, and especially when it comes to growing the fry, because I like to switch things up every now and then. I like to change flows and so forth. That's why Stuart, was it Stuart asked why I had the 90 when he popped around yesterday, asked why I put the 90 on one of the returns, and I'm actually going to be putting a double 45 on one of them as well. So it sort of thing. So it comes out and goes down and across. But that both pipes will be done so that they can be taken off. And that is so that I can change it, chop and change around on the actual entry of the water. And that in itself will change how the flows work on the pond, so that nothing is ever the same. I like doing it with the growing on tank. I turn the flow up on the veg filter and slow the flow down on the shower, which then changes the flow in the tank again. You see what I mean? I do the same with the Tosai tank with the outlet that was on the airlift that is now part of the main filter line. Sometimes I'll have more coming through that than going over the shower. The only problem with that, because that one is such a small body of water, square wise, I mean, it's deep, it's 4 foot deep, but because it's square wise, if you have that return pipe open too much, then the whole tank becomes like a whirlpool. So yeah, that one I can't play about with so much, but it still does get played with every now and then, just to change the direction of the flows and whatnot. So I hope that helps. Your burn has been sealed for ages as well, Vince, with no problems. Yep, yep. The bio chamber in the grow on tank, because that's a 4-inch bottom drain, goes into the easy pod, literally from the easy pod into the bio chamber, and then from there up through the upflow into the air source heat pump, and then split between the shower and the plant bed, which is starting to take off now. With the mind your own business in there is really starting to fly. And I've got, once the roof's up, I've got an idea for the wall that is in front of the window, with some mind your own business being embedded in places. So yeah, I've got lots of ideas for next year, which is literally a day away, isn't it? So, but yeah, it is all go here at the moment. So as well as getting out here finished, I've got one little bit left to finish in the front garden for Susan. How are we doing, Dr. K, Simon? And then it's time to start doing some decorating and stuff indoors. First, first port of call will be the kitchen. Yeah, I'm going to go 8 in there. I'm going to rip down a chunk of the, well, it is. When you go into my kitchen, you've got the kitchen on it, the sink's on this side. You've got the door in front here. Where there's a staircase that goes up, you've got a big overhang, and it overhangs way too much. And I know that because Jeff, who lives next door but one, he's got exactly the same house layout, and he's chopped his out and it done half open the kitchen up. So that is my first port of call, because I am sick to death of going to the fucking freezer and then lifting my head up and fucking twatting my head on the fucking corner. So yeah, that once out here is finished, because once out here is finished, it means there will be no more dirt being tracked through the house. It'll be full steam ahead on there, as well as some other things I've got in the pipeline for next year. Twisted Koi Pipework SOS. More on that in the new year. So yeah, any questions out there? Anyone want to jump on and join me? Like I say, this wasn't a planned long live for today. Just wanted to touch base with everyone just before the end of the new year, and hope everyone had a good Christmas. I'd like to wish everyone a really good and prosperous new year. Got lots of plans for next year, a lot, including New Forest Koi. We got the Koi Chipper Fest is going to be bigger and better next year as well. Also hoping to do an open day down at Hammy Koi Dorset as well, open to everyone. So that one in the pipeline. So yeah, we've got lots and lots of irons in the fire ready for next year. And like I say, on top of that, we've got our usual twice a week New Forest content whenever Rick's there, because he's got a lot of plans to go away this year. So it's a good job we've caught up with a lot of shit, really, isn't it? So, mind you, I did get a message this morning saying, "Look what I'm doing, Vince." And I was like, "Oh, you're putting the plugs in that I give you?" Yeah, because the air source heat pump fried the fucking electric through in the Munger tunnel. So yeah, Rick's in there. Well, he was an hour or so ago. He was in the Munger tunnel putting in new electric sockets and stuff. So yeah, there's plenty to keep us busy at New Forest as well. So, like I said, I'm not going to stay on for too much longer if there's no questions, because I think I've rattled on enough about what I've been up to and what I'm going to do. Bang goes in that next video, because I've told you it all now, haven't I? But anyway, guys, I would just like to say, personally, a massive, massive thank you to all of you out there that do subscribe, comment, like, support me in email, text, telephone. It really does mean a hell of a lot. And like I said, if it wasn't for you guys out there, I would not be doing what I'm doing. Well, I probably would, but not to the extent that I am able to do it with especially with the stuff we do in the forest as well. So from me, guys and girls, I hope you have a really good new year. We are back at New Forest on the 6th of January. I will I will be back with another update video before then. So, oh, hang on, Scotty. All the best for the new year. When I'm back from deployment, I'll come visit again. You stay safe, brother. Stay safe. So, yeah, other than that, guys and girls, I've been Twisted Koi. You lot out there, you know you're great. And I wish you all a happy new year. Latest, guys. Take it easy.